Okay, so Final Cut, Apple, captions, let's get into it. You know everything already about the release from Apple. Historically, they've released hardware in October, and Apple's new Mac Mini is out. Look at how small that is. I love this reveal. It's obnoxious how small they're making these things, but it's also amazing how much power they're packing into them. I'm not going to go through any of the details of how powerful it is and how this stupid power button is at the bottom. I hate this discourse around whether, oh, the USB-C thing is still underneath the Magic Mouse, or the power button is in the Mac Mini's bottom, and we don't have to get through it. We don't have to go through it. I'm here to talk about Final Cut and what potentially could be released, because we did get an announcement. It's not an announcement. It's the promise of an announcement. We have concepts of a plan. Where is it in this video? Final Cut was mentioned here. When I was watching this, I watched this 11 minutes after it dropped, and I was about to do my thing, look for references to Final Cut and all this. And this image first came up. That's Final Cut for sure. I was like, okay, there's one reference. I'm gonna clip this out, put this on my Twitter or X. I just kept watching, and then it came to this part here, and I'll play it back in a bit. Came to this part here, and that's when I shit my pants. We'll watch this together, okay? I'll turn the captions off.
So you can use AI to instantly apply video effects and generate captions for a ton of posts with the upcoming version of Final Cut Pro. And when I heard that, immediately jumped out of my seat. Well, or I sat up straight or whatever. I sat up straight and I rewinded so that I could get clearer on what they were saying. Was that true? Was that real? Was I going crazy? I played it back. Apply video effects and generate captions for a ton of posts.
Generate captions for a ton of posts. Okay, the upcoming version of Final Cut Pro. Generate captions in an upcoming version of Final Cut Pro. This is very promising. Immediately I screen recorded it. I put it on my X. What did I write? They're finally doing it. It looks like Final Cut Pro is getting transcribing the captions right in Final Cut. This is the first screenshot that I put up. I put in the screen recording that I did. I say here, still reserving my excitement to observe how it's going to be implemented, but still big news. Now, why do I say reserving my excitement? I'm trying to be level-headed about this because just looking at how it plays back, this is what is interesting here. It only generates captions up here, which is not a title, and it appears as this. Okay, so I just wanted to hop into my Final Cut here and explain the difference between a caption in Final Cut and a title in Final Cut. So with captions, which is what Final Cut, the upcoming Final Cut update is saying they're going to do, is they're going to be able to transcribe audio into captions. This is what they mean by captions. These are the captions that you find on TV shows or on movies, sometimes on YouTube. This is the kind of style that it will appear in. You can kind of add some stylization here, bold, italics, underline, which is, doing the bare minimum. You can change colors, which is doing the bare minimum. Again, put it at the top of the screen, at the bottom of the screen.
Welcome back to Apple Park. We hope you're excited about macOS Sequoia with Apple Intelligence.
This is what you would say is very utilitarian. It's based on a TV standard, which I found out today through someone named Tristan Davies. This is what he says. The captions role in Final Cut Pro is based on TV industry standards. You can see it in the video I referenced earlier. It says English, United States, ITT. These are standard ITT captions. What is an ITT caption? iTunes Time Text Caption format specifically designed for delivering subtitles and captions within the iTunes store. Unlike other formats, ITT supports a wide range of languages, blah, 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 making it suitable for global content distribution. That's cool. All right, I didn't know that before. Now I know. Thank you, Tristan. By some extension, it's kind of boring. And this is not really the kind of captions that people in the social world are thinking about. Titles, on the other hand, are very different in Final Cut. I've taken the liberty to make this based off of this 2D thing, 2D style, which is offset. The thing is with titles is that you can style them however you want. You can adjust everything from color, add your outlines, whatever you want to do. And you can add your effects, transitions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in this preset that I made custom. Immediately, this is so much more dynamic.
Welcome back to Apple Park.
And I'm gonna do that for these ones as well. Do this, 2D styles. Okay. macOS Sequoia.
We hope you're excited about macOS Sequoia with Apple Intelligence.
Okay, so immediately more dynamic. Maybe this wouldn't fly in any video whatsoever, but I like having the freedom to mess around with it if I want to. And if I'm only going to be getting just this, let's play as conspiracy theorist, like that guy in the GIF, and maybe let's take a look at how this kind of works right now. I'm going to play this back really slow. Playback speed 0.25, 13x faster than the fastest Intel Mac based Mini. Okay, here it is. Show color inspector, add magnetic mask. This is interesting, and a lot of people have noticed that too. Enhance audio, match audio, transcribe to captions. Now, what does that mean? You click it, and then this thing comes up, transcribing to captions. All the M series strips will be able to do this. Adding captions to voiceover, and this is the result. Okay, when I saw this again after several replays, that's when I started to slow down a little bit with my excitement. Because historically, I feel that Final Cut has, for some reason, they've always managed to give us what we want, but only 90% of the way. And this looks like a very clear example of this. I'm nervous about this. I'm nervous about this implementation right here that I'm circling with my mouse. This is not how captions in the social world works. And just based on what I'm looking at here, I think it's possible that I will be disappointed. I think I'm going to be disappointed. I think I'm going to be disappointed in this. This is promising, but also not very promising, because this only takes me 90% of the way of what I want to do. If this is the only way that we can work with audio and only transcribe them to captions and not titles, I will be quite disappointed. But maybe the framework is there for how this works. Maybe third-party developers are going to be able to utilize this and maybe give us better options. But this is disappointing. Or I'm not disappointed. This is what happens when you're a Final Cut user. You're such a diehard for this app, or at least I am, and you try and negotiate with yourself how much disappointment you're willing to take so that you keep using it. But I mean, this is a step in the right direction. Okay, let's go through some of the reactions that I got. James Zahn, still hoping for text-based editing. I don't even use that, but I think it will make FCP appear less behind compared to DaVinci Resolve in Premiere and attract more users. I think Final Cut Pro is extremely behind in terms of feature set. Completely behind. And I think this is a nice step in the right direction. But if this auto caption thing that Final Cut Pro is promising is what it is, and it is the mechanism that I'm thinking of that I just showed earlier with it only goes to captions instead of titles that you can edit, I think people will be still relatively disappointed in that. And I don't know if that's going to, compete with DaVinci Resolve and Premiere. And I say here, if they somehow incorporate Descript style text-based editing, I will shit my pants. I use Descript often. It's a paradigm shift, the way you think about video editing. And to edit video as if it's like a document is absolutely genius. Matthew O'Brien, he says, good eye. Thank you. Yeah, I spent a lot of time keeping my eyes and ears open for any mention of Final Cut. This is not a drill. Nate Candleberry. Is that how I pronounce it? Yeah, this is not a drill. Daniel Shizimoli. If they have text flow effect like Capwing and the other, this will be killer. The world is becoming increasingly more caption-based, text-based, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be text on your screen whether you like it or not. I hate to say it. And one of the ways that people consume, I hate the word consume. One of the way people watch video is with the volume off. It's an accessibility thing. You can add a layer of creativity if you wanted to. The way CapCut utilize captions is very creative. You have so many different presets, so many different templates to choose from. And I know like people will think, oh, this is gimmicky, oh, this is childish, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. If you think that way, you don't have to use it. And for the record, like I work mostly in short form production. So stuff like creative captioning styles is important to me. Now, I don't know if Final Cut Pro is going to utilize or even offer the option to make things as creative as that. If they do, I will be very surprised. Kes Akalaunu. Is that how I pronounce your name? I think once it's released, plugin vendors will step up their game and make it pretty solid. That would be nice if it was true. The wording. Listen to the wording. Listen. I don't know if that was intentional or whatnot, but I thought that was really weird. Just the words itself.
Captions for a ton of posts.
Generate captions for a ton of posts. It sounds like they're targeting this for social media cutters. Maybe that's not a good term to use. Social media editors. Maybe they're lasering in on social media editors. So if they end up with this mechanism of just making captions instead of editable titles with full range of creativity for the titles, if they don't do this, I will be absolutely devastated. I'll jump off a building even. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, let's see some other reactions. Magnetic Mask and Transcribe to Captions is coming to Final Cut Pro. It's certainly going to be an interesting Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Get 15% off by using the promo code on FCP Cafe. Caption Animator is also out now. Convert captions to titles. Okay, I didn't read this earlier. This is huge. That's good. That's good. Captions and titles are two different things. Tyler Stallman. A new version of Final Cut Pro is around the corner. What's at the top of your wish list for the update? One of my big wishes is, can I just have a friggin' temperature slider? Come on, just a regular ass temperature slider. Well, here's my little wish list. Text to edit, on-device transcription, auto captions, normal white balance slider, intelligent object scene detection feature similar to Photos app. I don't know how hard that is to put in, but maybe it's on the way. Team projects, that's another thing I want. Favoriting of effects and titles. I swear to God I saw this in a keynote once where you were able to highlight or at least favorite your favorite effects, titles, transitions, or generators. I swear to God I saw this one time. Last thing on my wish list would be general roadmap so that we know where we're going and what we can expect. What are other people saying? Wait, when? Wait, when? That's a good question. Wait, when? That's a good question. When is Final Cut going to be updated? Let me check my calendar and my release date sheet, which is so accurate. I actually manually typed this in. I Googled every release date for each update. So right now, it has been 77 days since the last update. 77. But historically, have we ever released in October? Yeah, it looks like here in 2023 we released in October. Final Cut Pro got an update in November. October 2022. 2021 also got one in November of 2020. Okay, so historically, I guess we could be seeing it anytime soon now. Sometime soon. That would be nice. So Kevin, sometime soon. Matthew O'Brien, generating captions in Final Cut Pro is real. Bring it on, Apple. Final Cut Pro transitions by Evan_S. Okay, we did it, Joe. Finally, it's here. It's here, and it's not the way I probably want it. I'm not some sort of fortune teller or whatever, but I think this is a good thing. This is a step in the right direction. Here's the thing. The Mac Mini today surprised a lot of people, right? As people are saying, Mac Mini has Thunderbolt 5. It started at 16 gigabytes standard. What else? Can do 8K 120 hertz or something. People are saying they're pleasantly surprised. And there are lots of times when Apple pleasantly surprises their audience, their customers, their fan base. So who knows? Maybe when this Final Cut Pro update comes out, I will be pleasantly surprised. But just from looking at the way it's implemented here, I'm not too hopeful. But here's the thing. I'm willing to lower my expectations, and if they exceed them, then I will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll be doing more of these Final Cut Pro streams of consciousness, rants, raves, whatever. So yeah, this is my foray into the video world. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. What do YouTubers say? You know what to do. I'll be back soon. Okay,